This is the Day Trading Options Daily Review for February 29th, 2016. I'm Scott, he's Alan, and our goal is to show you that you can make 10% in 10 minutes, maybe more time, maybe less time, maybe more money, and have a lot of fun doing it. So Alan, what happened today?
Well, it started out like a day that you think that it's going to go green because you've got some stuff in here and there's things in the news. And I was chatting with a couple of traders yesterday about what they do and some of the things that they make mistakes on. And sometimes the market catches them by surprise, we were talking about because of today. And they said, well, I didn't know what to do with a market that was like this. I was expecting the market to do that. And so when it did this, I didn't trade because I was like, but you're supposed to be, yeah, right, like it listens to us. We buy options. So here, a lot of people, because of stuff in the news, they didn't trade the chart. They traded what they were expecting. Oh yeah, this thing's gonna be bull and go great. So I'm gonna move forward here in time. We're looking at the basket. And it's like, yeah, it's going great. And I'm gonna hang on to the green side for my whatever stock because it's going great. Well, I'm just gonna ignore this little red business over here. And so sometimes people lose big money on where they should have got out because the signal's gone, the mag and all that. And they go, well, I'm right. And yeah, we all do that. It's the question is how many times you do that. And you don't need to, because if you're wrong, you pay a small price and you get out. And then you try to catch the next thing that goes your way in the sense of, well, I see it, the chart says, let's do this, and away we go. So one of the things we talk about in the course is, and Murray does a great job and the other coaches do, saying, well, there's times. At different times you do different things. So at 2 o'clock, quite often, the market will do something. Sometimes at 1 o'clock, like 1:03, something happens. So here I'm moving forward. It's 2. At this time, it's 2:06. It doesn't look like anything's really happening. Oh, now it's starting to look a little bit red. And you go, well, okay. And at this point, by the way, the little round window, that's the summary window, would be showing you, by the way, you can get that with settings. You just say, well, I want the round summary window, and then it comes up and you can drag it wherever you like. So here, and I'll pin it to the top. It's saying my indexes are all looking red, that it's a bear trend, not mild bear trend. Everything's looking red. Remember, we've got 2 kinds of color here, and it's at the beginning of the move, and then it faded. Well, I got another one that's coming up. It broke the Y point. It looks like I'm in a bear situation. My first stock I'll look at in my thing when I see, oh, look at all these look kind of reddish, is I'll go look at SPY. And I'll want to see a chart on that because that gives me a clue. So here it was green. So if you did the green thing, that's great. But, you know, it hit RA, bounced off. You should have got out. But if, so let's say you did that. Here, the market's telling you red's it. Strong red. Everything here looks good to go the red side. I'm at the opening price. That's a key item. So here, if it breaks a little bit lower than that, you're probably in for a nice bit of a red run, especially with all that business. Yeah, but I was expecting green. Let go. Don't think. Just trade what you see, is some people say. So here we are. I'm going to go forward 1 more minute. Fluttering. Okay, it broke the opening price. Now it's starting to really move down to red. And I'm going to move forward here to the end of the day just so you can see how the day turned out. And we'll get rid of our friend. And now, what do you see? Is that we were looking at it here, and it ran down. It hit the 9:45 bottom, which was also the 11 o'clock bottom. It never made it lower than that. It bounced with that and then ran down hard. You can see that the basket line, which is the blue one, is still there. You're below the mag line. You've got 2 kinds of tint all the way down to the bottom until you get a Y point that has green and never comes back. That'd be a good time to sell. I don't like hanging on to anything after 3:30. There's some people that love trading in this last few minutes. They're a bit kamikaze. It's not consistent. It's a little more gambly. I like something that tells me, oh, look, I've got tint, I've got this, you know, you should be trading to the red side. Where's the question? Let's just go with that. So the thing about this is when and you can see there's a heavy line here on the mag. It's solid because it's got good slope and it goes dashed. The thing about when the market is strong is it takes all the stocks with it. And so I'm going to run through the list here. I'm just going to hide the list now. So here at this time, when it started, some stocks didn't cooperate. They took their time, but they all concede eventually. So here, you know, it went a bit lower during the time that we care. And this was one of the strongest green stocks for the day. Sure, it held it. That's great. You wouldn't want to be green when the market's super red. See the basket line? Super red. And then it goes a bit green here. And so there's some, but for everybody else, here we go. Red, 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 red. Everything else here is all red. Tesla was at the, you know, it ran red, it's sideways, a little more red. And then when the basket gave up, this one started to go. But the point is, why don't you just grab these easy trades? You can almost grab everything except the stock that was a super green one. It didn't want to cooperate. Well, you know, stop trying to get things that don't want to work. It's easy enough just to go enjoy. So here's Chevron, who's had a bit of a beating in the months before because of oil prices and so forth. You know, it ran nice and red. And Boeing, red. So here earlier, Boeing was looking green. It's like, well, market's going down, you're coming. And that's it for the 29th of February.
Okay, Alan, so let's take a couple stocks. We've kind of done this a little bit backwards in the way we normally do, in which we've shown you, and I mean, obviously hindsight is 2020, but we're not here to show you that we can find them. We're here to show you that it's possible to make 10% in 10 minutes. So why don't you run back to around 2 o'clock?
Yep.
And let's pick a couple of the stocks that ran really well so people can get an understanding of the type of money that they left on the table by not taking advantage of the opportunities that the market gives us pretty much every day.
Yeah. Well, what we're going to do, we're going to buy a whole bunch, which as a human being, we would never do. So here, I'm going to buy Facebook. What else do we want to buy here? Well, we'll go buy SPY for sure, because that's the easy one. And what else do you want to buy? Anything comes to mind you want to get?
That's Chevron.
Yeah, so there's Chevron. And you can see it was not having a good green day to begin with.
Or a bad, or a good red day. I mean, it was stuck in no man's land, right?
Yeah, so then the market says, hey, come here. So it's at the low, and you'd think, well, maybe it'll bounce and jump off of it. But I have 100% going red. Maybe.
Let's bring up the main list, and let's pick out two more. And we're just going to pick it up random, right? Because this is basically the program telling you. So yeah. You have SPY, IBM. Does that look like a good one?
Sure, we'll grab that. Yeah, actually, it's got the star there, which says this is a breakout one. So we'll
VRX.
go VRX. No, we didn't. And
we did VRX. I think last week. Wasn't that the stock that did really well? Good.
Yeah, it was.
So let's see if it's two weeks in a row. That's not near the top there. Second one.
Yeah, I'll sort it that way. So here's VRX.
Okay, so we've got what, 5 or 6?
We got 5, and so here's
all right.
Here's all of them.
All right, let's
see
what happens.
Forward half hour, and then another half hour. So we're at 3. And that's an hour worth of whatever. So we're just going to
go 10 minutes. Go 10 more minutes.
All right, 10 more minutes.
Today. 10 more minutes.
Oh, okay.
I have no idea what's going to happen.
Here it's 3:20, which is really
all right. Okay, that's late. Let's get out. Let's get out.
Okay, so we're going to go through all these ones and hit the sell button.
What a day. Now, you cannot do this any way, shape, or form normally. Well, maybe you could, but we certainly don't recommend it, but this is just for fun, right?
Yeah, and actually you will be able to do this once we get the trading platform stuff all finished in the Waves of Profit software. You will actually have a buy button kind of like this, not the same, but similar. And yes, you could buy all kinds of stuff, but
We really recommend you just be
No.
focused on one stock. It's very, very difficult. You get really excited. You have two stocks, and one's a call and one's a put. You forget which is which. Instead of calling the put or buying the put, you sell the call or you call the put or whatever it is. And the
Oh
next
yeah.
thing you know, you've lost money and you're mad at us. So we don't like that. But
Yeah.
let's give us a summary. Give me the bad news today.
All right. Well, here we go. So looking at here, we'll just look at the chart in the background. So for Facebook, and we were in them all the same time for an hour and 10 minutes. We got a 22% gain. And it was at SA, so that's a nice time to leave. SPY, we got a 49% gain.
Wow.
Good time to leave. And again, we're at SB. That's just a coincidence. It's not related. Here, Chevron, we actually passed through SA and it had a little trouble and was coming back already. There's investors that say that's too cheap, so there's 27%. IBM, yeah, look, it's also at SA and struggling, and it got 13%. And VRX, we're at 17%, and it's well past the SC mark. But you'll notice it's also at the bottom of the day where it was earlier. So it's interesting that these things come back to key resistance points, such as pivots, previous bottoms, and that kind of thing. And that's all taught in the courses as well, so that you know, it's like, well, how long should I hang on to this thing for? Well, you don't have an opportunity to make money sometimes, like, so just get out.
Right. And you're at the 20-day break.
Yeah.
So you're at a position where there's a lot of things saying you got a lot of opposition, be a good time to get out. Plus, the fact is it's the end of the day. And what I like about this is, you know, we tend to focus a lot in the morning rush in the first couple hours, but the afternoon will give you opportunities as well. So it's kind of like if things don't go well in the morning for you, you've got, it's like baseball, right? You strike out in the morning, well, in the afternoon you're not bad again. So
Yeah.
Excellent. So we 22%, 49%, 27%, 13%, 17%, all in about an hour and 20 minutes, eh?
Yeah, hour and 10, yeah.
Hour and 10.
And it was easy because
you could have picked, yeah, like, well, and it was easy because of the software, Alan. I mean, the software made it really obvious this is what was going to happen, right?
Yes, that's right. And for those that don't know, here's the risk zone that I have painted on the basket as well. It's like, well, you're just breaking that. And you've got slope. I think you should be buying something red.
Yeah, certainly not green.
No.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Alan. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. This has been the Day Trading Options Daily Review for February 29th, 2016. I'm Scott Patton, and in the descriptions, we've got links to our courses. We really strongly recommend that you start there. If you know a lot about stock options trading and you like the software, www.wavesofprofit.com, you'll be able to check it out. And in the bottom right-hand corner, subscribe. Make sure you give us the thumbs up. Really appreciate it when we get some nice feedback like that. And happy trading, everybody. Thanks for joining us. Bye-bye.